Like, share, and subscribe. Okay, welcome. Grandpa sees the blinking. Hey, we're going to talk about the dangers of leverage today. And we're also going to talk about some substance. And I'll tie it together as best I can for you. Up on the top here at 284, that's our top place of substance. The market makers have shorted up there a lot. And down here on the bottom is our bottom place of substance, which is 184. And my white dotted line in the middle, hey, that's 234. That's the halfway point. And we're just a few dollars above that. Right now, I think we're going to open real close to this white line, a little above it. And so, leverage and the dangers of leverage. Well, in Grandpa's trading experience with a cash account, there is absolutely no reason why you should ever lose money if you got enough patience, unless you really bought at some bad spot that Grandpa don't know about. But with the margin account, that's where Grandpa's got himself into trouble before. A person tends to overextend themselves. You know, in the Bible it says that you're a slave to the lender. And when the market people are borrowing you money to trade, that would kind of tell Grandpa that we're their slave. Now, you can start out. The problem with a margin account is you can think you're being conservative, going one way or the other, up or down, and that's nice that you can go short or long, pretty much at your discretion. But the problem is this: if it goes against you, even if you've only not gone into there intending to borrow anything, you've got 100% of your own equity into it. If it goes down far enough, it will go into their money that's helped, where you're borrowing from them, actually, the leverage. And they can wipe you out. And so what happens, and what's happened to Grandpa in the past, when I've over leveraged, not even meaning to in most cases, but would run against Grandpa, and then he would end up having to bail out, take a loss, and the market makers are happy. Options. Let's talk about options. The reason for options is it gives you so much leverage. For a very small amount of risk, you're allowed to control 100 shares. One share price is 100. But it's based on time, and it deteriorates. And you got many traders. I've seen them on YouTube, and they're long in their cash accounts, whatever. Excuse me, and they try to hedge by getting puts and whatnot with an option, you know, in case it runs against them, and they call that hedging. But the problem is, even trying to make money with options in the first place is tough, let alone trying to use it for a hedge. And sometimes it works for them, but many times it doesn't. And so Grandpa only did options one time, and it didn't go well. I'm not an options guy. And that's just the way it is. So here we're looking at the weekly chart. She's a buy signal. She's following this steep yellow line up. These to this channel. Here's our other channel that goes back 11 months. And here's our channel that is the downtrend from over 2 years ago. And we are going to meet somewhere. If you look at the monthly, you can see where we're going to meet. Oh, Monday will be our second day. I'm hoping this candle stays green. This green candle here take us to 320, 340, who knows what. And you want to think about the market makers do not ever, ever, ever use stop losses. Why do they promote it for you? You tell me. They don't use stop losses. What they do is they buy short and they buy long at the same time. And I said I was going to keep talking about it, and I'm going to. We can do the same. You can go along with your cash account, and you can have another account that's a margin account, but you got to be careful with it. You don't overextend yourself. And periodically, just let that cash account run up, and when you see where it's opportunity to short a little bit with your margin account, gain a few bucks, get out of Dodge, and wait for your next opportunity to short it a little more. And when we're up here in the top range, you don't want to be buying long up here. You want to sell your shares, take your profit, and then you want to look at getting a short position, because I'm telling you what, this 184 is in your future. You will see 184, 190, 200, 210, and 220. You will see those numbers in your future. Grandpa just doesn't know exactly when. Maybe February, maybe March, who knows? It doesn't really matter. Just be patient while it goes there. And you're going to see 284. That's our top place of substance currently. And by the time we get there, we'll know what they've been doing. They've done quite a bit now up at 310, 320. But it's all been pre-market, aftermarket predominantly, and they did. The reason I got 340 on here is they've done some at 340 shorting, and the reason I have 101.07 on here is they bought at 101.07, and they will go there and they will activate them at some point in time. As far as what I've been seeing these guys do. I used to think that they'd only go to a strong place of substance, and they proved me wrong over and over again. So, okay, well, all good things are from the Lord. We had a great service this morning at church, and you got to be careful. You don't want to be a slave to the lender. Just do a moderate amount. Don't be in a rush to get rich. The main thing you can do in trading is not to lose. Do not lose money. Grandpa don't like losing money, and neither should you. Don't overextend. Making a little, it'll happen. You'll gain and you'll gain. That's what Grandma does. Grandma's a genius trader. I'll tell you what, that girl, she makes money. But she don't panic. She always buys at the right spot. She's so much better at buying than Grandpa. It's terrible. But so just be patient. Don't be impulsive. This ain't a get rich thing, and it can be a get rich thing, but it takes patience and it takes time and it takes work. And we'll talk some more about that later. Okay. All good things are from the Lord.